What's going on, guys? Jordan Weber here. Sixth review coming at you. Today we're doing Basement Chemistry by Beneficence. Beneficence is an old school kind of underground rapper from Newark, New Jersey. He used to be, or is currently affiliated with Artifacts, which is a group from Newark, New Jersey, that consists of El De Sensei, DJ Koss, and the other is Tame One. So I didn't know. I never heard of him before this album, going into this album, but I really like what I'm hearing. Um, he's underground, so many people probably haven't heard of him, but that's all right. I think that's a lot of underground rappers that I've heard recently are really good, and I feel like they should be more on the stage than they are. But maybe they want to be underground, so who knows? Um, all right, so let's get into this review. So this thing, my main concern with this thing is it's 19 tracks long, and each track isn't long in and of itself, but it piles up when there's 19 3-minute songs, and kind of like after like the 10 track mark, 12 track mark, the songs kind of get mushed into one. Like they're not really kind of separable. They're not really distinct because I've heard so many of the same sounds already, and I've heard this kind of the whole album is really old school, very kind of just basic beat oriented, kind of just what you would think of when you think of hip hop music. That's this album, and not that that's bad, but when you have 19 tracks of that, each each track that you go along, the less distinct they get. They just kind of mush together into this one clump of songs or clump of sounds, rather than like each individual piece of a puzzle. Um, but I still like the album, so I'm gonna go through each track. Mostly each track, just kind of tell you what I liked and did not like about each one. So the intro, it starts off with this kind of sample, which I'm not sure where the sample is from, but it's all about. The album's called Basement Chemistry, and it's all about kind of going into the basement where I guess your lab is, your science lab, and you just kind of create something new using science. And I guess that's kind of like a parallel to he's trying to create music, create art, using the science of hip hop, which is like lyricism and beat making and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool, and the beat that accompanies the sample is pretty dope. I really like that. The next song, Easy as 1-2, it's the first song on here. Was not my favorite. It definitely could have used a lot more on the instrumental. It was really weak on the instrumental. It was kind of a little too basic for me, and it just seemed a little empty, kind of missing some stuff there. So that was not my favorite song. Then we got Digital Warfare, which is one of my favorite songs in the album. Um, the bars are great. Instrumental is incredibly, really hard hitting. I love the horns in the background. So that was one of my favorite songs on the album. I think that was a great one. Anyway It Goes is the next one. This is a lot more relaxed. It's not hard hitting. It's not like kind of in your face. It's really just relaxed. The bass line is incredible. I love the bass line. Then we have MC Eitz feature on here. I think that's how you say his name. Sorry if I got that wrong. And he's been in Mad City of Kendrick Lamar. I think he was in what else was he in? He was in something. But this feature isn't as good as I've heard him before, but it's not bad. It's okay. So that song was pretty good. The next song, Wranglers and Asics. The chorus on this song kind of gets muffled by the instrumentation. It was kind of hard. Really, actually, it was really hard to understand what they were saying in the chorus. So that was not my favorite song. It's pretty forgettable to me. The next song, Smooth Hardcore. Uh, the instrumental was incredibly sloppy. Not in the way that it was like made. It's not like they were off beat or anything when they were making it, but the levels are all off. I think they did it on purpose. Basically, they have like kind of this like the instrumental gets louder and then it gets softer and then it gets louder, and it's like does that the entire song. And I don't know if they did that on purpose, but it was not my favorite thing because it was really distracting, and it didn't add anything to the song. So that song was definitely not my favorite. Then we have Vibrate the Streets. This is another one of my favorite songs. The instrumental is incredible. The wordplay and the rhyme patterns are on point as well. It kind of switches up the beat in the middle, and I like that instrumental also. I like both of those, the beats on here, and I think that was one of my favorite songs. The next one, Maui Vacation. I was kind of indifferent to this thing. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. It's just whatever. There wasn't going much going on there. in terms of anything unique. So it wasn't my favorite song, but it wasn't bad at the same time. Against the Grain is the next one. The instrumental is really really simple. It's basically just a piano run loop over and over again with there's like 3 drum parts. Really really simple. Just kind of basic. The chorus is really good on here. I like the chorus, but the rest of the song didn't stand out to me much at all. So it wasn't my favorite. Then we got Forevermore, which is a lot more relaxed, similar to Any Way It Goes. Just kind of relaxed, not in your face, not really hard hitting, just chilling. The instrumental is really good, and the chorus is also really good. That was one of my favorite parts of the song. Then we got When the Sun Comes, and I really like this song. This is one of my favorites also. It's all about it's like a really reflective song, really introspective song, just about what is the world going to be like when people will wake up, pretty much. Like right now there's so many problems in this world, and then when the sun finally rises and everything's okay, what do we have to do to get there, and what it's going to be like. I really like that song. It's really emotional. Although the only part about this song that I didn't like is that they would have this lady in the background singing, every once in a while would sing When the Sun, and then I would expect a chorus there, and I would have really liked a chorus there, sang by her, or maybe it was sang by the feature or whatever, but it just didn't come. It would just say When the Sun, and then they would keep rapping. It was almost like they were just adding that little piece every once in a while, and I didn't like that. But the majority of the song is pretty good. The next song we got Ghetto Music Rap, in parentheses, We Doing It. This song was pretty forgettable. Just wasn't much going on there. And again, we're getting to that point where I've heard a lot of music already, and I've heard a lot of the same types of beats and the same type of sounds and the same types of flow. Not that it's repetitive. I mean, usually I hate on albums if they're repetitive and they lack variety. This doesn't lack variety in the beginning, but again, as you go throughout the album, they all kind of mesh together. So I just wasn't a big fan of ghetto music rap. Then the next song, Blast This. This instrumental was incredibly annoying. It just seemed like a bunch of instruments improvising at the same time, and the flow or the delivery did not match the beat at all. It was probably my least favorite song on the album. Next we got Each One Teach One. This is a really good song. This is a reflective song, again, kind of like When the Sun Comes, and it's about, at least the way I interpreted it was, how are we going to teach the next generation to be better than us, and or that might be my generation to be better than my parents' generation. I don't know how old Beneficence is, but either way, how do we teach each generation to get better and better and better? How do we teach the kids? The instrumental is really good. I like the saxes in the background. The bass line's pretty dope. And the feature from SD Knack was pretty cool. I guess he did the chorus, I think. And it's kind of like, I don't know if he's from Africa, but it's kind of like Assassin's feature in Kendrick Lamar's Black of the Berry. It kind of sounds a little bit like that. Then after that we got that. I was really indifferent to it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. Not much to say about that song. Then we got Masters of the Class. Instrumental is pretty good. The lyrics are okay. Nothing standout worthy. But the chorus was really annoying to me. It just wasn't my favorite. But the instrumental was pretty good, and I think that saved it. Then we got Manuscripts. They use this big band jazz sample, and I was not a fan of that at all. It didn't match what they were trying to do. It didn't work. And maybe that's just because I'm a trumpet player, so I hear things that other people might not hear. And the trumpets did not fit with the song at all. Then we got The Heart. I really like the sax and the trumpet in the background for this song. They actually worked. The flow and the lyrics are great. Really good song right there. And then the last song, Make It Hot, was kind of boring. It wasn't the best way they could have ended the record. But, I mean, the majority of the record was really good. I was really impressed with what I heard. I'm giving this album a 7.5 out of 10. So I'll see you guys next time.